what are your top tips for staging on a budget?
Because everyone loves to stick to a budget for sure.
So staging on a budget, I think first starts with saying it can be free. It could literally be we're going to declutter our stuff. The second part I would say would be Facebook Marketplace. Oh, can we talk about light bulbs really fast? But lighting is really important because it's like it creates the vibe, it creates
And
the
it's
mood.
not that expensive to change out either.
Welcome to Lawrence Real and Local, Keeping It Real podcast presented to you by the Lawrence Board of Realtors. We're your go-to source for all things real estate in Lawrence, Kansas. I'm Lexie Haskin with Flint Mortgage.
And I'm Campbell Ragan with McGrew Real Estate. Together, we're here to make the journey to home ownership a breeze. Join us as we share insider insights, expert advice, and a dose of fun along the way.
Welcome to Lawrence Real and Local, Keeping It Real podcast by the Lawrence Board of Realtors. My name is Lexie Haskin with Flint Mortgage.
And my name is Campbell Ragan with McGrew Real Estate. Today, we are joined by Moriah Miller with Crystal Clear Realty. Thanks for coming today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
I wasn't even going to give myself a chance to do my tongue twister.
Yeah. She tried that about 2 or 3 times. So
Just Crystal
I did
Clear
the intro this time.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah. So today we are going to be discussing staging on a budget and how to make your home stand out.
You can make your hands stand out too.
Totally. Nail polish, all the
Without
things.
breaking the bank.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a really important topic in real estate, and we'll kind of get into that today for sure. But yeah.
Absolutely.
Sweet. So why is staging important when even selling a home?
So, yeah, I think that the main thing that staging is so important. When you are flipping through Zillow, there's so many houses that you're seeing, and think how fast people are swiping through Zillow. It's the first impression. So you have like 3 seconds to catch someone's attention. So that photo of the outside is really important, but then they swipe through what is the size of the living room. They're looking at the things, and if they're distracted by stuff or they're distracted by paint colors and they're not seeing the hardwood floors or the open concept, it's really distracting. And so I think it's the first impression. If a house looks well cared for, then they also believe that the house has been well cared for. So if it looks really clean and modern and just simple, and just like looking at everything and not the stuff, then they can also like have a little bit more faith that, okay, they look like people that care for their home, and maybe they've done maintenance on the HVAC. They're not even worried about that yet. But if it looks trashed, they might believe that the house has been trashed too in a lot of other ways. So I think that's why it's really important. It's that first impression.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, when it comes to staging, can you overstage?
Yes, I guess if you're like defining overstaging by like adding too much stuff, then yes.
Cluttering.
Yeah. But like if overstage means like, oh, we staged every single room, then no. But it's expensive to do every single room like that, and time consuming. And so typically with like a full house like that, I don't think you can overstage, but I think you can over clutter. You can add too much stuff to be like, oh, so many plants. Well, maybe not everybody loves plants, add some, but yeah, you can maybe overdo it. But I haven't seen somebody overstage before, I guess I should say. But I have seen people be like, I staged this. And it's like, I love your collection of precious moments, or whatever.
Let's put some of them away.
You're like, that was a choice.
That was a choice. Yeah, exactly. And it's fine. It's your personality, but you're selling your home, not your stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's like a really big motto I use with people. I'm like, I love your stuff too, but I don't want to buy it. I want to buy the space. So yeah, I think that's really important.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are the key areas that should always be staged?
Yeah, think of like the heart of the home. So I think the kitchen sells the home in a lot of ways. People are looking for storage. They're looking for pantry space. But then like the living room, they want to like imagine where the Christmas tree is going to go. They want to imagine waking up, where's the sun coming in? So I think the heart of the home, the kitchen, the living room, if the dining room's attached, I think that can really sell a story because it's selling like the lifestyle. This is where you're going to live with your family. This is where you're going to make memories, where you're going to host birthday parties. So I think those are really, really important. If you have like a pool or something, like if there's wherever the feature is or the home highlight is, I think that's really important to be like, look what we have. We have a gorgeous backyard, a tree house. Maybe you do add patio furniture, or a fire pit, or whatever it may be. So Yeah.
So it depends on the home.
Yeah, I think it depends on the home for sure. But the safest bet, I think, is decluttering the kitchen, staging the living room, creating a moment, selling that ideal lifestyle that people all want, and then the dining room, just helping people imagine themselves in that space.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
this is not a question on the sheet.
Yeah.
So
It's fine.
no, so I'm wondering, where do you keep like all of your staging stuff that you have for houses, and how do you go about like the whole transport thing? Because I mean, a lot of people don't think about everything that real estate agents do.
Yes.
And that is one of the things that happens.
Yes. If you would have asked me like 3 weeks ago, I would have said my house, the office, my business partner's house are like everywhere. And like I even had one of the pieces of art in my room as like do I like this for me?
I'm going to try it out first.
Yeah, exactly. But now we do have a storage unit. So yeah, I think getting a storage unit, we can just drive right up to it, get everything right there. We're not doing the chairs. What do we have? I have inventory on my phone now of like what's in there, and just it's a lot
organized.
It's very organized. Yes, we're getting there.
We have an organized girly with us.
we're trying.
Because I was thinking, because growing up, my grandma was in real estate and she would stage all her houses, but she had these big like plastic bins, all organized by color.
Yes,
color and theme.
Wow, that's amazing.
So she would go up and she'd be like, what? So she'd like
what color today?
So when she moved out of her house, trying to categorize all of those different like storage bins. Like I remember going to houses with her, and some of them would be like beach themed, and then like it was fun. I mean, early 2000s, like we had a good time.
Box of teal.
Yeah, so
yes.
But I mean, it is fun. Staging is fun. I was excited to talk about this, and then hear also just like modern staging. So
totally. Yeah.
Not beach themes anymore.
So
maybe not.
Seashells in the bathroom. What do you mean?
Maybe.
A lake house. A lake house. That would be good for that.
Yeah. That's a always good conversation around that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, we're here for it.
Cabin vibes. You're like,
Cabin
live,
vibes.
laugh, love. Let's just let people imagine living and laughing and loving here. We don't need to say it or have it on our wood plaques anymore.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, what are your top tips for staging on a budget?
Because everyone loves to stick to a budget for sure.
Yes, definitely. So something that I think is important I guess it kind of goes back to that first question of less is more, of can you overstage? It's not like it doesn't have to become a big deal. I think the first thing to not overthinking it is to declutter. First, like see the space. Let's really reopen up what the living room looks like, what the kitchen looks like. We know that you use, your mixing bowls and your mason jars and your KitchenAid all on the countertop and your utensils. But like, what does the space look like if it was just completely bare countertops? What does the space look like if instead of having, your bookshelf full of your collection, what would it mean if you put your collection away and maybe showcase 2 or 3 of those things and then a plant and kept it really simple? Because when people are looking at a space, they're thinking about your stuff again, and not thinking about
the beautiful wood on the bookcase.
Exactly. So staging on a budget, I think first starts with saying it can be free. It could literally be, we're going to declutter our stuff and just put back some of it. The second part of staging on a budget, I would say, would be Facebook Marketplace. If the house is empty and you need a table, we've had some bigger pieces that we've gotten from Marketplace that were really nice, a lot cheaper. I don't think you need to like go to Nebraska Furniture Mart and rack up a credit card, or go to Target or something and get these big items. You can get some really nice quality pieces reused. Ready for Good is a place here in town, and they like assemble the furniture, and then it's all brand new stuff. And you buy it, and it's a great organization to support too. So I always recommend. We always look there for rugs that are new, things like that you want it to still feel clean. When you think about on a budget, sometimes you think your mind goes to used or thrift store or borrowing and stuff like that. But I think it's really important to have categories for those things. I love thrifting so much. And I can go into a thrift store and be like, oh, look at that couch that has like the crazy florals. Like I could see that, in my friend's space, but I would never stage with that because that's a personality couch. That's a personality curtain or whatever. I'm looking for white. I'm looking for clean. I'm looking for linen, anything that would be very agreeable. Not
So
once.
what
Yeah.
if you even got a couch like that, but then got a cover for it?
Yeah, potentially that could work for sure. Because even if it's broken, I know that's like horrible. Like if you can't see or if there's a tear or something. But then if you could even just get a cover for someone else's couch that's already there.
Yeah.
And if the house is vacant. The other thing about stuff that you find at the thrift store or getting used, making sure that it still is something that has a modern element. Because if you sell a house that is outdated a little bit because it has older wood or maybe just not the most desirable paint colors or flooring or whatever, then I think it's important to bring in modern things. So that's where I think Marketplace comes. People buy stuff from Wayfair. That's like a really cheap place to buy. So maybe, you don't want the $200 love seat in your house because you're using it every day with your kids. But it's perfect for staging and it's lightweight. Oh, it's cheap. Perfect for staging. So as a realtor, it's really great or as a seller, it's really great to hire a realtor that has those things that you don't need to add. So there's lots of different ways to find it. I think thrift stores are great for like lamps. That's easy to clean. I think that little knickknacks or dishes, that's great to like sell the story. Really easy to clean, really easy to find modern things there. And then maybe like the ready for good for the bigger furniture pieces or the brand new rugs that have never been used that you're not having to like clean and whatever. And so I'd say like there's lots of different ways that you can go about that.
Nice.
For sure.
You want a rug?
I do need a rug.
You should go there. I highly recommend.
For my son's nursery.
Oh,
So,
yes. Yeah. That's really fun. You can get lost in the vortex online. It's better to just like go see something in person.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
For sure.
So what are some DIY staging tricks? Like, hit us with them.
Gosh, this is an interesting question because I do feel like the DIY is like, don't overcomplicate it. Like if you're down for painting, if you have like crazy paint colors, can we call painting staging? Like I think that's a great DIY, do it yourself.
Yeah.
Adding curtains is major. Showcase a window. White linen curtains or cream linen curtains are like $20 for a pack on Amazon. You can get nice black curtain rods that look really modern. We have a set of those as well on hand just because it does make such an impact.
Oh, nice.
Even if a house has curtains, we're like, hey, we love your blue curtains with floral. That's really pretty for you. But let's just sell the space with white and we just replace them with white. So we just have a ton of those on hand. And decluttering is probably another DIY staging. Just declutter. Just start packing because you're hoping to move anyway.
Yeah.
Grab some boxes. Get
The
going.
stuff you're not using especially.
Yeah. A
Like
storage
that mixer
unit.
that you're maybe only using twice a year anyways.
Exactly. Yep.
So I don't know if this is even good advice in general because I will say a couple of years ago, I did get a Cricut. So I know some people sometimes it might use that for DIY. Okay, don't laugh at me. But I was going to say I joined a couple groups on Facebook. It's like a Hobby Lobby and a Dollar Tree DIY thing. And I feel like you can even make like really cheap little pieces, like if you can't afford by just doing
is
that.
making live, laugh, love.
Still. Oh no. You're making bathroom labels, bathroom here.
Out.
No, like what I'm thinking of, like if somebody just got like one of those like even like plastic things from a Dollar Tree, and then you can go to Hobby Lobby and get like the stone spray paint, and then you can make it look like a stone vase when it really is just plastic for less than $5.
Yeah. I mean, if you're crafty and you're like, that's super fun,
Yeah,
why
like
not?
if you love DIY and you're trying to save a couple bucks and it's just pretty quick, I mean, why not make a plastic thing look like stone?
Well, and okay,
Mariah's
so
over there like cringing at me.
I'm gonna just redirect it. No, I'm just kidding. Not cringing. I used to be crafty, and then I just like, it just is a lot of work. But that is a great thing for planters outside, getting plastic planters that you're like, I don't know what I want or whatever. Spray paint them with like the like the stone textured ones. So yes, I'm not opposed to DIY, but I would just be like anything that feels like your personality. Like I think this is so cute. Then it just feels like you're selling that. Yeah, it's too personal. But I'm not against real DIYs. Like, let's get in it. You know, maybe you make planter boxes because you've always wanted to put lights up in your amazing backyard.
Yeah.
You know, do that then. Cool. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars to showcase your backyard. You can spend, you know, go to the Dollar Tree and find a pot and make
like
it look
a little thing. Yeah, make it look stone.
Make it look stone. Stone is so in. Earthy, organic. Yeah. Buzzword. Exactly.
If my mom listens to this, she's going to be like, Lexie, why did you even try and say anything trendy? You are so behind the times. But hey, you know what? If we want T-shirts made or different things like that, this is nothing to do with staging. I can make his T-shirt.
Live, laugh, love.
Yeah.
T-shirt.
Live, laugh, love.
You'll get that in a couple weeks, Mariah.
I love it.
Send me your T-shirt size.
A onesie, actually, for your baby.
Oh, this is perfect. Can we have matching onesies?
Absolutely.
That would be good. Perfect. I want a zipper. Easy in and out.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
So how can seller use the items that they actually have? Do you go in and are you like, hey, this is in your kitchen, but I think this is going to work way better in your bathroom? Do you just like rearrange their house? Have you moved sofas? Like how deep do you get into the process?
Yeah. So during our like initial consultation, you always want to make sure it's like the level of comfortability of the seller, because you just come in and be like, we stage and we're going to make your house better.
And we're going to move everything.
So offensive. That's like so offensive.
That's like somebody saying at first, so no offense, but we're going to.
Exactly. And so I think it's like coming from like a softer edge of it, of being like, hey, we know that this is overwhelming. We know that this can be a lot to get your house ready to sell. Let's talk about some things how we can help you in this process. What about your house overwhelms you? Are you feeling overwhelmed by decluttering? Would you be able to get things out so we could come in and bring some neutral options? Even like privacy of a house, like maybe they don't want their family photos plastered everywhere. Let's take them down. We've got some really just very neutral art. Yeah, very agreeable, good colors, all that stuff. And most of the time people are like, oh my gosh, it's like a relief for them. It's not us coming in and being like, we're going to make your house better and easy to sell. It's like, how can we help you? This is going to be like a burden lifted off of you. Yes, start getting boxes. Yes, start packing. And then we'll come in and like, we'll fluff the pillows. We'll, do those things.
So isn't it recommended to take down the family photos and things like that so people can see themselves in that house?
Yeah. I think so. I think it's smart. I think because I've gone into houses and showed clients houses, and sometimes we'll just talk about like, oh my gosh, look how cute their family vacation, or, and like then we kind of get distracted too. Like you see someone else's life there. You see their kids' toys in the corner. You see, all that stuff. And you start talking about their stuff and you start talking about their life. And so when we list a house, when a house is up on the market and a buyer walks through the door, you want them, again, talking about the bookshelves. They were amazing. Not like, oh my gosh, why did they have so many of those things?
Why did they have 75 cookbooks?
Yes, exactly. Or like, did you see how weird that size of rug was? Or that couch was tattered up, and they are left with that. And then they're thinking, oh man, I don't know if this house has even been cared for. I don't even know. And so back to like the family photos and stuff, it's just like they're talking about you, not the house anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that's it's a relief to people to be like, okay, we can start packing up some of those things, and then we don't have to worry about it. So
definitely.
Yeah.
So I know we've already kind of talked about different mistakes that you've seen, but what are some just common staging mistakes that pop up?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. I don't see that many like mistakes. I have seen some staging. This has been like in years past, so I feel like I can't talk about it now. But I showed some houses that was really interesting. Like we couldn't tell if there was like squatters there or if it was like a staged room. It's like, oh, a blanket, a lamp, and a pillow, and then you're like, okay, so they want us to know this is a bedroom. Cool. And then we like go to the next place and we're like, okay, there's a toy in this one. This is the kids' bedroom. And then you're like, okay, very nice. So I've seen stuff like that happen where it's just kind of like, oh, this wasn't maybe as thought out. So, if you're going to do that, I'd rather just either leave the room empty, or you can get like the folding tables. I always tell clients, like, don't get on the bed. Like, touch the bed before you get on the bed because it might not be a bed. Like people put like folding tables out, and then they can put like a fitted sheet or something, and then a blanket, so it looks like a beautiful bed in the kids' bedroom or the primary bedroom. just to like show, hey, a full size could fit here.
Well, I was going to say people should not be getting on other people's beds.
Yeah,
anyways.
let's hope
That's
not.
so true. It's so true. It is
Like
very
if you
true.
are looking at a house, do not get in someone's bed.
I guess I should have led with
no.
that. I always tell my clients, don't touch their stuff. Especially their bed.
I was like, wait
Yeah,
a
But
minute.
here's the real reason why is it might not be a bed.
It might not be a
That's
bed.
the point. Yeah.
Exactly.
I was like,
Exactly.
let's take a step back.
Yes,
We're not
I-
getting in other people's beds.
Yes, I've had a husband try to prank a wife, be like, "Oh my gosh, did you see the bed in that room? It's so comfy." And he knew it was a table, and she walked in. She's like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, "This is a table," you know. I was like, but it looked beautiful. So, like, there's some common mistakes like that where people like it's there, but it's not executed quite right. Like, I'd rather just leave the room empty. Yeah. Or probably overstage. Or okay, here's another common mistake. Yes, we want to thrift on a budget or like stage on a budget, all the things, or use the things we have. But if you're just like putting something up that still just looks old and dated, I think it
doesn't help.
Just take it off. Like,
Yeah.
curtains are not all created equal. Rugs are not all created equal. I think if the house is vacant, bring as much white that you're like, nobody's going to get this dirty. So let's put white in the house and make it as bright and airy as possible. Lamps, as much lamps as possible. Vacant houses that don't have like lights in the living room. I think every single house, like as an agent, you need to be thinking about that. Somebody's going to be showing, especially in
At
these winter
nighttime,
months.
too.
You go in
Yeah,
and it's
dark.
the living room, and you're like, okay, there's no can lighting. Here's the living room. Let's go on. Like you're done. And so being really aware of like lighting and stuff, it's like so simple. But lighting is totally a part of staging, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think those are some just
That's a good
very
point.
like minor mistakes. But yeah, it's like either make a moment and make it make sense, or don't do anything. And those are there's just not the in between.
Fine
is tricky.
line.
Yeah,
Fine
yeah.
line.
Exactly. Don't lay the blanket down. We're like, are there people sleeping here? I don't know. So
Air mattress
like-
on the floor.
yeah,
Yeah.
creepy doll there, and you're like, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Get a
got it.
nightstand.
Like, that was a choice.
Yes,
but
exactly.
that's my saying today. That was a choice.
That was a choice.
That was
Yeah.
a choice.
Yeah, made a choice.
So speaking of those choices, how can a staging choice impact the price that a seller might get for their home?
Oh, totally. Again, it kind of goes back to that very first question, the first impression, how fast somebody swipes through. They're defining the value of the home. Even like it's associated with like professional photos of a home too, of like just the first impression. But if a house is staged, I think the stat is like the house sells 73% faster if it's staged and has well-lit photos. Like not even like, oh, professional, well-lit photos.
Yeah.
Because we've all flipped through Zillow and seen the one that's like, is this a renter?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no, this is a home for sale. And they've almost discounted it because it kind of goes back to that like feeling the house gave them of like, has this been cared for? Like, did they even turn the lights on? So, yeah, I think the stats show that the houses actually do sell faster when they are showed that they were cared for.
Yeah,
right? Like, what a novel concept. Somebody wants
Yeah.
to buy something that has been cared for, and
Love.
staging can also do that. You know, make it look in the house's best self.
Yeah.
And yeah, just showcasing the house. And again, that's like can be offensive to some if you say it in the sense, you can get your stuff out. It's like, no, but you're selling a home. You're not selling you. You're selling your this place. You're selling the next life for someone else to create their memories here. And buyers understand that once they or sellers understand that once they become the buyers and they start walking through houses and they're like,
true.
oh,
It clicks.
yeah, I am talking about that rug that was so gross,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's major for sure.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Makes a big impact.
Yeah.
And I mean, wow, what was I going to say?
I don't know.
It just like went in
Could
one
DIY
year
the
out the other.
rug.
I know. I just thinking about
Sew it.
just did the whole DIY of the rug. Oh my god.
No, you're
I'm
good.
not gonna
Love
live
it.
this down. You guys are just gonna always be like Lexi's live, laugh, love.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
for sure.
all the L's.
Yes. Oh my
All the
God.
L's.
Lexie, live, love, love. That's
Yeah,
good.
this is the alliteration there.
Quad 4. I love
Oh
it.
my gosh. So what is the favorite thing that you have staged, or do you have a favorite piece that you use? I know you've talked a lot about whites and different things like
Yeah.
that, but what is your favorite piece that you have?
That's a good question. Yesterday, I was at a house, just very soft staging. They've taken all the pictures down. Now we were left with nails, and they're still living in the house, and they're using the kitchen. So I walked in. The house looks great. It looks really, really clean when I came in. but the walls are bare. So I brought in 3 pictures. I thought that looked great, just done. And then not fresh flowers, but some fake flowers that look fresh.
Yeah.
And then this lamp in this kitchen. There was just stuff on the countertop, not a big deal. But I moved it and I added my lamp and a little wicker basket. And it was a moment. I was like, oh, I kind of want to hang out here now. And like the lighting, the lighting kind of blew me away. I was like, I know that like I love a little lamp in my kitchen and that's becoming a thing. It's maybe not practical. I have it on a little shelf in my house, but if you have the space, maybe it doesn't feel practical every day to have a lamp on your countertop, but that's like very trendy. And I see why, because it's cozy. So I think lighting, setting the right tone for the house, that probably is my favorite way. I used to be a wedding photographer too. So like lighting coming in at the right time of day, or the lamp, oh my gosh, light bulbs. Oh, can we talk about light bulbs really, really, really fast? When you walk into a house and they have mismatched light bulbs throughout the whole house.
Or one burnt out in the ceiling fan.
Gosh,
you're like, that's so quick and easy.
And if it's a vaulted ceiling, all my buyers are thinking of is
I have
how
to
in
change
the heck
that.
am I going to change it? I'm like, well, write it into the contract that they have to do. So it's just like those things that, like you can make such an impact. Like just do not soft white, not daylight, but bright white is like just the perfect medium light bulb. So that might be my favorite because it is a really easy hack that we haven't talked at all about. But lighting is really important because it's like it creates the vibe, it creates
and
the
it's
mood.
not that expensive to change out either.
Yeah. We've thrifted like so many of our lamps, and even like Target, those little table lamps are like $10. Highly recommend. It creates just like a cozy vibe. And I was like, should I get a cup of coffee and hang out here? Now I was like, it's just it created a moment and it made sense. It wasn't just a lamp, but there was like a little basket behind it and a little plant. And then it was just like, okay, now I'm looking at the countertops and not their stuff, which is fine. That they had to have their stuff out, but let's put the soap dispenser in the sink and put a lamp out. That's not that practical for everyday use, but it is when you're selling the house.
I need you to come stage my
I know.
home.
I was about to say.
I feel like I'm sold.
Let's go
there.
shopping.
I was literally about to say, I think I need to have Moriah come over and make little moments with Moriah.
Moments with Moriah. Moments with Mo.
Did we just come up with the tagline for you? Like, what's going
It's
on?
starting.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. You guys can be the first. We'll come over. It has to involve coffee, and I'll come over and we will just have fun making little moments in your house.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm here for it.
I love it.
Definitely.
You guys
So,
are sweet.
do you want to do a little fact or fiction segment?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Are you here for it? I mean, you can elaborate on a little bit of them if you want. You don't have, you
I'll
don't
give
have to
you
just be
straight
like,
shit.
Some of them are
Okay.
not. Yeah, some of them are not just a straight answer. Potentially. So
All right.
keep that in mind.
Hit me with them.
okay, staging a home always requires hiring a professional.
Fiction. Yeah. I don't think so. I think you can have an eye.
You can have the eye. I don't.
Declutter.
Declutter. Yeah. Declutter. Have the eye.
Yeah.
Dollar Tree Lexie does not have the eye.
In that case, moments with Mo might not be bad for you.
Too good.
Okay, next one. Neutral colors and decluttering are the most important aspects of staging.
Yeah, let's just say fact. I think that's fact. I could argue that one.
Neutral. Yeah.
Neutral.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Last one. Staging is only important for luxury homes.
No, fiction. Yeah, I think any house can be staged. A little duplex, little one-bedroom apartment.
Yep.
Or the beautiful house that should just sell itself.
If anything, it's probably more important on some of those smaller spaces to make sure that they're decluttered and, utilizing the space the best you can.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Emptying out those closets, because if people walk in and they see, oh my gosh, they're bursting at the seams, I'll probably be bursting at the seams. There's no storage. They're thinking about that and not like, well, there were 4 closets, know? So, yes, I think smaller houses, it almost it makes a bigger impact almost. Yeah. For sure. To show that moment, how could we use the dining space? Oh, it's only a kitchen, whatever. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
definitely.
For sure.
Yeah. What do you want to leave us with?
Let's see. Your home is beautiful. Take care of it. Love it. Enjoy the space. Make it something that you're proud of. Don't see these things as overwhelming. It should be fun. You don't need to turn your house into a sad beige home to sell it. But think clean. Just think clean lines. Simple, elegant, where people can envision their favorite colors and their family memories. And so staging is not an insult to sellers. It is a great offer. It's a great assistance to say, hey, let us help you. It's like just sell your house and not your stuff, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's probably my last piece of thought or advice on staging. But yeah, love your home, care for your home, do the things that like you thought you wanted to do, make those updates, and you'll just probably fall in love with your home.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for joining us
Yeah,
today. It was a joy.
Yeah, thanks.
And if you guys want more moments with Mo,
exactly. I love
Give her a
it.
call.
Give me a call. Follow me on Instagram. Exactly.
oh my gosh. Thank you for the
Exactly.
Lawrence Board of Realtors and the Lawrence Public Library for making this happen. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
okay, signing out.
Thanks for joining us on Lawrence Real and Local, Keeping It Real podcast. We appreciate our guests taking the time to join us. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review if you've enjoyed today's episode.
For more information, please visit us on the web at www.lawrencerealtor.com. And remember, whether you are buying, selling, or simply dreaming of your future home, we're here to help. Until next time, keep it real
And happy house hunting.